Welcome to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is 𝒧𝒧𝒏𝒂𝒧𝒧 and I'm joined today by Kristina 𝒔𝒂𝒂𝒧𝒧 and Rob 𝒔𝒂𝒂𝒧𝒧 of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. Kristina, how are you today?
Wonderful. Always great to be here with you, Cynthia.
I'm always so excited to see you. And Rob, how are you?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Good, good. I know that you've both been extremely busy, and I always appreciate that you take the time to come into the studio and do the shows every week. And on top of that, you also have the radio show. Let's talk a little bit about your radio show this morning.
So first off, Your Powerful Legacy Radio is now in a podcast. So Apple, we've got Amazon, Spotify, iTunes. I know that that works as well. So listen, Your Powerful Legacy Radio. And one of my favorite things about the podcast is that you can go in and select the subject that you really want to hear about. So if you don't want to hear about taxes, don't click on that one.
I love that. So you can pick and choose what you want to listen to depending on what your situation is.
That's right.
That's incredible. Well, congratulations on all of that. I know it's just wonderful, and I'm so happy to see you both doing so well, and you're so passionate about helping others, which I think is just an amazing gift. Today's episode, we're going to talk about something that impacts everyone. Cost of living. Oh my gosh, Rob, I have to tell you, I was in the grocery store last week, and there was a bag of oranges the week before that $6.99. I'm like, okay, $6.99, not bad. Put it in the cart. Went back the following week, $8.99. So wow, cost of living is really going up for everyone. Would you agree?
I would agree, and I'm going to tell a story on myself back when I was in middle school, because it's when I had my first job, I think, and I used to get candy bars, Jolly Ranchers, and sodas, and I would freeze the sodas. I'd put them all in the duffel bag, and I'd take them to school, and I would sell them. So Jolly Ranchers brought a quarter, Cokes brought 50 cents, and candy bars brought 50 cents. You go in now, I just noticed the other day I was in the store and looked at it, and a Snickers bar was over $1.50.
Oh my gosh.
That's how much things go up.
Incredible. That is incredible.
So are we talking about inflation or cost of living increases?
A little bit of both.
It's both. It actually does go hand in hand. Technically, inflation is going to be based on your interest rates. That's what they're really looking at. And cost of living, what does it really cost to live? When you're retired, what happens? This always reminds me of those classic cars. You know, they get a little bit older and the parts start to wear out a little bit and they've got to be replaced. And I've got a lot of clients that those parts start to wear out. You have to have those hip replacements or maybe some back surgery, shoulder surgery. Healthcare becomes more and more expensive, so your cost of living will increase as far as your healthcare is concerned. Over 90% of your healthcare will be expensed in the last 30% of your life. So let's just say that we broke that up by 30, 30, 30. So 0 to 30 is the first third, 30 to 60 is the next, and then 60 to 90 is the last. So over 90% of your expenses for healthcare will be paid in that last third of your life. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal, and you need to properly save for that. Do a lot of people come into the office and talk about specifically saving for benefits such as that, healthcare?
I think people are a little bit in sticker shock because it's an average of $310,000 for a couple in retirement to take care of all their healthcare expenses. This does include your Medicare that is coming out of your Social Security, so don't worry, that number may sound like it's severe, but of course the longer you live, the more it's going to stretch out those expenses. And while we all would love to have that lifestyle where we live the rest of our lives a good, long, healthy life, and then we, pass nice and comfortably, unfortunately that doesn't happen for most. Over 70% of people over the age of 70 will need some type of long-term care or assisted living. That's a really big number. And so I'm seeing a lot more families that are really taking care of each other. One spouse or the other will stay home with the parent and actually take care of them. I call it the life cycle. I actually like it.
I do too. I think that's amazing, and I think we should do more of that. We should take care of our parents as much as we can because other cultures do, and it just makes sense. I'd love to talk to you about how certain specific lifestyles change as well, Kristina. I know a friend of mine living in retirement, enjoying her life, going out very active, meeting friends for coffee, for tea. All of a sudden, her adult daughter and grandchild moved back in, and then her expenses changed. Are you seeing a lot of that with people that are moving back in together, even daughters, grandchildren, sons, if you will, coming back home?
Yes, I sure am. Those multi-generational households, I think, are more popular than ever just because the cost of living is so expensive. During COVID, when the real estate market was just absolutely booming, well, so did the rental market. Rentals became just so few and far between, and when people were moving out of their apartments or townhomes, whatever it may be, and moving somewhere else, then the landlords would bring the rent up just because everything is able to be adjusted. And owning a lot of properties through my life myself, I feel like there's a point where you have to say, I'm not going to gouge this. I'm going to just keep things nice and smooth and do the right thing, because those are everyday families. My tenants in my rental property right now, I've not raised their rent since they've lived there over 10 years.
Wow.
Yes.
They must really appreciate that, because it would be easy to do, obviously, to keep up with everything that's going on in the world.
Well, they take great care of the house, so why would I?
Yeah.
You know, I think that that's something that you just have to have that human factor to it as well.
I couldn't agree more. And speaking of the human factor, Rob, I know that you and Kristina are obviously very patient and very passionate, I should say, about, and patient too, about people that want to thrive in retirement, not just get by. Let's talk a little bit about that, what it feels like to create a spending plan for someone to make sure that they can really enjoy their retirement.
Yeah, what Kristina, she refers to every once in a while, you turn your paycheck into a playcheck.
Yeah.
And that is fun. So the people that have worked and really been driven and cost conscious about things their entire lives, it's time for them to start enjoying it. And we hope that that person has been able to do those things to set up for whatever they want to do in retirement, especially for those go-go years. We've talked about that several times, and those go-go years are going to be when you're going to spend a good chunk of your retirement, not a whole lot of it, but
yeah.
You go from working every day to getting to do vacations and going to see your kids, grandkids, things like that. That's exciting, and putting money away for those kind of things are what it makes it all worthwhile.
Definitely.
Well, we're not going to sugarcoat this one. You know I'm winning the Amazon contest at my house. So I'm really good at spending money, AKA decumulation.
So I will say I got a text from our office assistant this morning, and she said that I had 3 and you had 5. So yes, she still wins. And it's like this every day. I can't catch up.
I love it. Well, I don't know, because I'm with you with the Amazon, so my husband would have a very interesting number to put on there too. Like, I'm sure that we've paid for vacation homes for some of the Amazon people. But I mean, it's just, again, it's about enjoying life. And when you think about it, when you retire for the first time ever, every day is a Saturday. And when do you spend
Sunday. Yes.
Exactly.
Except for Sunday.
That's exactly it. And
yeah.
I actually want to pick on my in-laws for just a moment. First off, I won the lottery with in-laws. My mother and father-in-law are such great human beings. I love them so very much. I don't know how I lived my life without them. It's amazing. And they're in their late 70s, and they go, go, go still. They come up and travel to Kentucky. They live in Florida. They travel to Kentucky and spend time with us. We go down and spend time with them. And I learn from them every single time that I visit with them. And my father-in-law is great about sharing stories about all the things that he's done wrong in his life, because he actually said that's the way you make it right. And I really love that about him. He ran his own insurance agency when he was young and was very successful at it, and has a lot of business advice. And I think that when you've been through something, I had someone ask me, this is where I'm going. Someone asked me, how do you talk about retirement and how do you successfully retire people all the time when you're not retired yourself?
Yeah.
Well,
Interesting
okay.
question.
And it's constantly educating ourselves. I mean, I'm constantly in that. I just finished the Harvard Business School Leaders in Finance. And my professor said something that has stuck with me. He said, accounting is an accountability of the past where finance is the future. And when I first developed Powerful Legacy, we have a passion for future. That's our slogan. We're passionate about the future, and I'm constantly taking steps to inform myself so I can better inform you. That's the answer.
Well, Kristina, I'm sorry.
I don't think the retirement outlook has changed from a lot of people. I think maybe some of the solutions have changed a great deal, but the concerns still remain the same. Just over the last 20 years, has the longevity of outliving your money been the biggest concern, because people just didn't live as long back then. But I think it's becoming more and more of a concern. I think the age group of centennials are the fastest growing population in America right now.
Absolutely. Well, Kristina, I know that you and Rob have a very special offer to present to our viewers at home. Let's talk about what that is before we open the phones.
So we are offering a complimentary review. I know that you're watching the show, and sometimes the subjects that we're talking about, whether it be inflation, taxes, volatility of the market, overall just running out of money in retirement, you're all very concerned about that. And one of my favorite things to share is that we do not have a number limit. You do not have to have too much or too little, whatever it is in between, to be able to come in and have that consultation. For a lot of you, this will actually be a second opinion. That's okay. We would love to give you that time slot. If you're missing something or you don't know the answer to the question, are you on track for retirement where you will not outlive your money? We need to make sure to get you in here. So complimentary review.
Kristina, thank you so much. And Rob, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call is on your screen. It's 877-893-5099. If you have your smartphone handy, go ahead, pick that up, click on the QR code in the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to Rob and Kristina's landing page where you can book your complimentary consultation. We're going to take a very short commercial break, but we don't want you to go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to talk about income habits, spending habits, and saving habits. Stay tuned.
As a good saver, you've been putting away money during your working years. Studies find that the biggest fear of retirees is running out of money. Market volatility isn't just the downward movement of stock prices, it's the size and frequency of change. The more dramatic the ups and downs, the higher the volatility. This can put savers who are newly retired or a few years away from being retired at greater risk. Today's generation of retirees is not receiving traditional pensions as our parents or grandparents did. Instead, we have retirement accounts such as 401ks or 403bs. These accounts typically expose your money to market risk. The last thing you want right before retirement is to lose a portion of the money you need for income. But how do you turn these accounts into a retirement income? Is it safe to keep all your retirement money sitting in the stock market? The last thing you want is to lose a portion of the money you need for income due to market loss. By working with a financial professional, you can learn how to turn a portion of your savings into an income stream for life and income for the life of your spouse if you're married. We all have moments in our lives when we wish we had taken action sooner. Don't let procrastination reign on your retirement parade. Act now before it's too late. Please call our office to set up your no-cost, no-obligation retirement income review today.
And welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm joined today by Kristina Ping-Kepperling and Rob Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. A wonderful and fun show that we're having today, also very informative to the viewers at home, talking about retirement income needs, if you will. So this next segment, I'd love to talk to you a little bit about income needs and how they correlate with saving habits and spending habits. That's the big one where we should have the dun dun dun.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about that. How do you assess someone's income needs in retirement?
I think that one of the most powerful statements that I can make to you is that all habits will come to roost in retirement. That's what's going to happen, good, bad, or indifferent. And to be able to have good habitual behavior, we have to be hypervigilant about those habits. So let's talk about your income needs first. How much money do you need to make sure that you're going to have the lifestyle in retirement that you want? What does that really look like? And this really needs to be an income that is steady. You know you're not going to miss it, whether it be pension, Social Security, annuities, whatever that may be, that is a good, steady, guaranteed stream of income to where you know you're always going to have that. The next is going to be a little bit of play money.
Okay.
That's the fun part. Are you going to travel? Are you going to fix up your home? You're going to get that hot rod, whatever it may be in retirement that's going to make you happy. I want to talk about those. So a little bit of spending. And then what are we really talking about in saving? Should you keep saving in retirement? Yes. For the rest of your life, save.
Is there a rule of thumb with how much you should save, Rob? Is it like 10% of a person's paycheck? I mean, how do you establish that?
I think that's going to be different for everybody.
Okay.
I mean, if you're very conservative, you don't want to go on trips and things like that, it's going to be what you want to do. And if you're married, what your spouse wants to do. And a good trick is to both of you put down your own bucket list. And if you can't agree with what's on your bucket list of things to go do, number it 1 to 10, 1 to 10. And then you do 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and you just go have fun again.
Aw, that's nice. How many times do you have couples come in where the spending habits and the saving habits do not align?
Almost all the time.
Yeah, I was going to say, it has to be a lot.
It's not that we're not in alignment in our own household, but I definitely spend more money.
Yes.
I do too. I'm guilty as charged.
But I also save more money.
I do too.
I mean, balancing just the same. So I'm an excellent saver, and I'm trying to get to that 80-20, saving 80% of what I make and only spending 20.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to that by a certain period of time, which is around the age of 70 to 75. So that's kind of my goal. Will I ever retire? People ask that all the time. Oh, I love you and I want to stay with you. You know, I want to be your client for the rest of my life. What do I do when you retire? I won't. I'll be on the road program, retired on active duty, so no worries.
Then you don't have to worry about that either, because our kids are in the business, so they know our clients. They get along with everybody. I mean, it's all family, and we love that about creating a legacy for our firm and for our clients.
Absolutely. And I should also talk a little bit more in depth about the fact when someone does retire, that first day, and there's no paycheck coming in that following Friday and therefore after, how do you help someone figure that out? Because they're so used to going to work every day and they have that paycheck that's probably direct deposit or sometimes still a printed check, if you will, that they deposit themselves. They have to pay themselves. How do they do that, Kristina, Rob?
Well, finance is not just about finances. It's not about money. It is growth beyond money. We want to make sure that we're growing you in every way, spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally, and financially, of course. We're here to support you through all of those changes. I've got clients that they will retire and they feel lost. They feel like they just don't know what to do with their day or how to spend their time. Then I've got others that they're like, woo-hoo, no alarm clock, I'm done. And it's your life, and how can we balance that? If you need help and you want to come in, I've had clients that have texted me, I'm depressed, I don't like this, I don't like not working, I miss my friends, I miss my colleagues, and that's okay. Maybe we can talk about a transitional retirement where you're just practicing retirement, maybe doing some part-time. It's okay.
It is. We also encourage people to have hobbies if they don't have hobbies.
Oh, yes.
Come up with something. What have you always wanted to do?
Yeah.
And then let's start doing it before retirement so you can actually move on into it as you retire. That way it's not just you cut one thing off and turn one thing on.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense because you have to have a purpose. And I think when you wake up in the morning with a purpose, you're just going to be happier overall. Let's talk a little bit about how important it is to have a budget, because a lot of people don't like to talk about budgets, but I think when you're having a situation where you're having your income come in and you're actually funding your own retirement, you have to stay within those parameters as well. Can we talk a little bit about budget planning?
Well, I think that anybody who is getting close to retirement needs to have an exercise here for just a moment. So I would like you to just take a plain old piece of paper and draw a line down the center. On the left-hand side, I'd like you to write down, realistically, please, all of your expenses. Look back at your checking account, your savings accounts, your credit card statements, everything where you spend and earn and save from. Yes, I said your earnings and your savings, they matter too, because on the right-hand column, what are those items that are available? Your resources of income. Does that match up? Are you upside down a little bit? Are you doing well? When we get to that point where you can literally spend 60 to 80% of what you're bringing in, and you have saved enough to only live on 60 to 80%, that's when we start to have that transition over into, I'm going to be okay on my retirement income. It's a really, really tough transition. People are uncomfortable. You've been so used to working and saving for your whole life, and that's okay. It's time to turn on that savings. And I want you to think about it like you've saved in this big bucket, okay? So you have this very full bucket. It's amazing. Well, first off, my job and my pleasure is to make sure that you have a spigot coming in that is continual interest. We want to make sure that there's an option to the upside of the market on that. We want to poke a hole in that bucket and have a stream of income. We also want to protect you from other holes like overspending. That could be another hole in your bucket, draining it faster, or a bunch of fees, maybe volatility of the market or risk, maybe taxation strategy wasn't right. All of those things are considered, again, in this multifaceted strategy that is your retirement. It's a really big deal. So if it feels like you're missing some of that, I want you to just take that time and give us a call. You're going to come in and see us. I know you're thinking about it. Everybody's thinking about it, that's for sure.
As we're talking about that too, one of the things that we've been talking about for months now is credit card debt.
Oh, yes.
And when we're talking about credit card debt, we're seeing we've been saying that we're seeing people come in with gradually higher and higher credit card debt. And I was watching the news that they're just now posting it's a record high credit card debt for this nation right now.
Sure.
And what are we going to do about it? What are you going to do about it in retirement? How are we going to adjust things? Does your spouse even know about that credit card debt going up or down? These are the reasons why you need to sit down with your spouse and talk about these things. Where are we at? How can we resolve it? Because it doesn't do any good by hiding it under a rock. You've got to get ahead of it.
Well, Kristina, I know that you and Rob have a very special offer to present to our viewers at home. Let's talk about what that is before we open the phone lines.
We do. Yes, folks, getting ready to open those phone lines. And I know you're busy, so if you just want to capture that QR code on the bottom of the screen and link over to our website, you can get a hold of us there. We are offering a complimentary review. For some of you, this is going to be a second opinion, and that's okay. When you come in, we're also going to give you a copy of The Retirement Train. This is an amazing book. It's such an easy read, so much fun. I'll give you a little hint. Skip to the 5th and 6th chapter. That's your 50s and 60s and on into retirement, destination retirement. Why are we making the decisions that we're making? Why are we talking about the things that we're talking about? Taxes, inflation, volatility, healthcare, it all affects your retirement. If you don't have a professional and you just want to meet with somebody and see, are you on track? Please give us a call. You're not coming in to be sold something, you're coming in to be told. We're not even going to offer you business in this consultation. We're just going to give you information that is complimentary, and it's our pleasure. Please take advantage of that.
Kristina, thank you so much. And Rob, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call is on your screen. The number is 877-893-5099. We're going to take a very short commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We have viewer questions when we return, and this one could be yours. Stay tuned.
When was the last time you saw your financial professional? Are you getting the most out of the strategy that was created for you? Although you've done a great job finding someone to help plan for your future, are you 100% sure that you were given the right strategy? We can help answer these questions and more with a complimentary second opinion evaluation. We will take a look at what you have in place, then help determine if you are well positioned to get the most out of your future retirement income. In the event that it is not, we can help by making suggestions and showing you how to get on the right path. You wouldn't get just one opinion when it comes to a major health decision. So why would you treat your most important financial decision with such disregard? Call today for your no-cost, no-obligation second opinion evaluation to see if you are getting the most out of your retirement income plan.
And welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm joined today by Kristina Ping-Kepperling and Rob Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. Our favorite part of the show, every week, the viewer questions, because obviously people are watching the television show, they're listening to the radio show, they're downloading the podcast, listening to their favorite episodes, and I love to hear what they're thinking. And they can't wait to ask you. So should we dive right in?
Yes.
Please. All right. This is a great question. We've talked about this a little bit in the past. I don't want to leave money to my children. So do I really need a will?
Well, first of all, I need to know if this is my parents asking the question. And if that is your question, yes, we do need you to leave that money.
I don't know. Kristina just said she has the world's best, so I'm guaranteeing it's not them. Not them.
Yes, I do believe that you do need a will. And for anyone who comes into Powerful Legacy and you become a client, you know very well that we offer this service. We retain an attorney as one of our powerful partners. It's no charge. I know a lot of firms that are charging upwards $1,500 plus to have just a basic, structured skeleton will that you could just print online and get it notarized. Let's not do that. Let's see a professional. Again, I'm not an attorney or a CPA, so I rely on my partners for this. They're the experts. My dad used to tell me when we were young, you don't want to be a jack of all, you want to be a master. And so what does that look like? For some clients, it's going to be that I'm actually quarterbacking or passing you on to a powerful partner for those special needs that you have. There is nothing in retirement that we can't help you with. Another piece to that retirement puzzle is that if you already have professionals that you're working with, any professional that you speak with should be working with them as well. We should be surrounding you to advocate for you and make your retirement successful. That's very important when you're looking to speak with somebody about your life.
Absolutely, because like we've talked about in the past, obviously, everyone's situation is unique. and different and special. So
Yes.
it's definitely more customized. Wanted to ask you this next question. This is a great one too. I just refinanced my house. I plan to retire in 6 years. Should I use my 401k to pay off the house so I don't have a mortgage in retirement?
I think we were just talking to this person's sibling earlier, or talking about them anyway. Not always, no. I think that we should sit down and talk about that. I know that there's an amazing motivational speaker. I've personally met this person that talks about debt and what's the right way to handle debt. I understand that they're very popular and that a lot of people follow that program, but there is no one size fits most. And this person's never sat down across a conference room table and planned out a life with somebody. Meet with a professional that's there at your best interest. What does that look like? And just like Rob was speaking of a moment ago with the credit card debt, I couldn't sleep at night if I had credit card debt. I'm really particular that we pay them off every month and we're done. We just don't do that. But sometimes you have to. And I did have times in my life where I truly had to. I had to put a pair of ball cleats on for my son because I couldn't afford to pay for it at that moment. And ever so humbly, it taught me how to handle debt even better and how to correct those mistakes. So let's sit down and talk about your situation, your debt, your lifestyle, your retirement.
Yeah. I wouldn't just carte blanche take advice from somebody that's just a motivational speaker. We've seen it too many times where people can interpret it different ways. If you're not sitting down in front of somebody face to face, you can't really explain what you're talking about. And we've seen people take it too far. We've seen people take it to where they're having unhealthy eating habits and causing health concerns later on in retirement.
Wow.
And it's a little rough. We need to have that conversation to have that comfort level when we're talking to someone.
Don't live to work.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just not the way that it is.
Absolutely.
And I think having really good habitual behavior and healthy finances, that's in the first chapter of the retirement train too. I tell you my secret, how I taught my children about finances. And I don't talk a whole lot about my personal life. And I am going to share something that I've never shared on the radio or on TV before, but I was adopted when I was young. Had a different father than my biological father, and his name is Floyd Ping. He's one of the most awesome individuals, and I'm the favorite oldest child. I know this. I'm technically the only oldest child, but that's okay. And he's taught me more than I could ever imagine. One of the most important things is that you need to develop those good habits when you're young. Live your life, have great habits. If you don't have them and you need help, call us. We'll help you get those changed.
Kristina, thank you so much. And Rob, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, most specifically, thank you for spending time with us today. That number is 877-893-5099. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We'll see you back 1 week from today on Your Powerful Legacy TV.